world, you're always selling something. Even if you go for a job interview, you're selling yourself. So however you sell yourself is how you're going to be bought. So you got to know how to sell yourself.
Yes. And this makes so much sense.
You are listening to Money Matters Podcast. Step into a world full of worth and financial intelligence. Dedicated to bringing awareness, empowering the world to financial freedom and personal development.
Welcome to the Money Matters Podcast. I go by the name Clever Pinero. I'm in the studio with the professional investor Alex, and today we're going to be talking about people who are stuck in jobs that they hate so much. They feel stuck in there. They can't get out. They don't like the job. They hate it. Every day they wake up to go to work. They're not passionate about it. They don't see any growth in there. The money's not good. Everything is bad, but they still go to this job every day. They hate it. They don't know what to do about it. They can't get out. They have bills to pay. There's a lot of expenses. They got to eat. They got to feed their families. They got to pay the car loan. There's so much expenses. They are stuck in this job, and there's so many people that are in this situation that they can't get out.
Yeah, that's true. There are so many people who dread Monday morning. Whenever Sunday night comes, it's, oh man, I'm about to get up to go back to this place. Dread that so much. But because of our lifestyles and stuff and other things, you can't just walk out. You know what I'm saying? You have to maintain that job until you find a better one. So what are some of the things that we can do to get rid of these jobs that we hate so much?
Being in a job that you hate so much, I can only imagine, you're going to be looking at the time every day. They say when you find yourself looking at the time at work all the time, it means you don't like that job. Because most people that like their job, they don't even see the time go. Before they know, they're like, oh my God, it's time to go home already. They don't pay attention to the time. But if you find yourself looking at the time all the time, you're watching the clock all the time, it means you got to check yourself a little bit. So the first thing you got to do is to simplify your lifestyle. When we say simplify your lifestyle, we be talking about finding ways to create time and money for yourself so you could focus on trying to get out of this job that you hate. And what are some of the ways that you could simplify your lifestyle?
Yeah, you can simplify your lifestyle by pretty much reducing your monthly expenses and obligations. There are so many things that we put on ourselves that because of them, we have to sometimes stay overtime and make extra money to offset certain bills, all because of the type of lifestyles that we've indulged in. So if you're simplifying your lifestyle, you're letting all these things, all these wants, all these things that you can live without, you're letting all of them go. So that way you wouldn't have to be forced to stay longer at these jobs that we hate so much to make extra money to, offset those bills.
I mean, some of the things that you can let go is if you have cable or TV bills and stuff like that, you could cut them off. You don't have to watch TV to survive. You could live without a TV or cable or whatever it is. I mean, nowadays there's a lot of places that you can get information from. You don't have to be paying for the cable bill strictly to get information or to entertain yourself. So you can let that go. If you have a brand new car, maybe you could return that car, turn that car in and get a used car that you could just pay it off and not have to be making no monthly payments on the car. If you get a used car, you pay it off. You don't owe nobody anything and you go about your life. If you live in a bigger apartment or an expensive place, expensive house or something like that,
you can also downsize.
You can downsize. You get a smaller place, much cheaper place. It will help you, cut off some of the money and give yourself room. And, you don't have to go outside and eat all the time. You can learn how to cook and make your own food. It'll be much cheaper. You can also, track your expenses. Your day-to-day expenses, you could track them and make sure that you're not spending too much money to know where all your money is going. You could save more money. And instead of even driving, you could maybe take the bus or the train, which is even cheaper. You save all that gas money and stuff like that.
Insurance and all of those maintenance costs and all of that.
Yeah, and you're doing all this to create the time and also have enough money to give you a chance to get out of this job that you hate so much. That's the first step. The number one step, simplify your lifestyle. Make your lifestyle so simple, it will be easier to, maintain that lifestyle with less money and have all the time in the world to pursue the lifestyle and the job that you want.
Yeah, this is so true, because these are all small sacrifices that you're going to be making for a short period of time. But if you're able to stick with it, it's going to eventually make a big difference to the quality of life that you're going to be living, because now you cutting all these expenses that you could live without. It's also freeing you time on the other side that maybe you were probably making at least 2-3 hours OT every day or every week to keep up with all the expenses that you have. Not that you don't have to. That same time could be also used to probably learn some new skills.
Yeah, that brings us down to the second step. The second step would be developing cross-marketable skills.
What is a cross-marketable skill?
Basically, you're going to develop skills that you could use in different kinds of job. You don't have to just be focusing on just one job. Skills that will allow you to have a lot of opportunities, skills that will create more opportunities for you to get, it doesn't matter what job it is. These skills are general. Any kind of job you want, even if you decide to work for yourself, you'll be able to use these skills. So these are the skills you want to focus on and develop these skills. Examples of skills, these kind of skills are selling skills. Like, if you know how to sell, you know how to persuade people to purchase certain things. It's a good skill to have. Some people can persuade you to buy anything. So you want to have that selling skills in America or in most parts of the world. You're always selling something. Even if you go for a job interview, you're selling yourself. So however you sell yourself is how you're going to be bought. So you got to know how to sell yourself.
Yes. And this makes so much sense, because in a way, once we get to these jobs, sometimes we stop growing. And imagine a child refusing to grow or stopping to grow. You'll be stuck in that whatever age that you're in forever. And that's not even natural. That's impossible. So once you get to these jobs, and once you come to find out that you don't like these things, you start looking at other areas where you could learn new skills and also grow. Because the more you grow and the more you acquire, the more skills you acquire, the more marketable you make yourself, the more competitive you make yourself. So if there is a spot that you don't like, there's a field you don't like, you can probably veer off to another field. You can look at other places and you're still going to be useful there. Because if you stop growing, then it means that you're only useful in the area that you are. But once you start learning and acquiring more skills, then that means you can look into other fields where you can also enjoy other areas of that profession or a different profession altogether.
Yep. And you also have to be creative. You have to learn how to be creative, how to come up with new ideas, how to, you want to be creative in a lot of ways. You want to be creative in a lot of ways, so it'd be easier to find another job.
Exactly. Put yourself in the shoes of your boss. All right. Compare yourself to that coworker who is always coming out with new creative ideas, who is always coming out with new inventions, if you're in an invention world, and these other things. So the more you are able to come up with on your own, the better you suit to that manager or the boss.
Yeah, if you're creative, you can always come up with new ideas and new ways of doing things. In this world we live in today, technology is taking a lot of job opportunities. But if you are creative, you can always come up with new things by yourself.
Yeah, and that makes you more competitive to that guy that's left or right to you. So that makes you stand out.
You can also learn effective communication skills. I mean, there's no explanation for this one. You have to know how to communicate. Every job needs wants somebody who has good communication skills, who can communicate.
Exactly. So there are certain jobs that do give people it comes with downtime and stuff like that. Once you have a downtime at your job or whenever, you shouldn't just be sitting down relaxing and not doing anything. There are so many things that you could learn on online and stuff like that. Look into these things, you know what I'm saying? Because the more you know, the more competitive, the more marketable you are. So, be creative. Being creative is, you can also learn new skills and things like that. So let's use our time wisely too on that same note.
And also effective social skills you can also learn. This is also a requirement in most jobs. If you have social skills, you can also learn leadership skills. You can become a leader, and most jobs require leaders to handle certain leadership positions. Or if you have leadership skills, once you get a job, it will also help you. You also want to learn about time management.
That's very important.
If you know time management, a lot of people are going to need your services, because there are experts that people hire just to come to the companies and teach them time management. So if you coming in there already, you know time management, it will help you out.
Yeah, because the better you're able to manage your time, the more your output is going to be. Because what somebody sees, oh man, I don't have enough time for this. You'd be able to apportion time to each of those things that you have to do. And at the end of the day, your output is going to be way more than that guy next to you. And whenever there's that opportunity for you to grow or be promoted, who is going to be chosen for that? The one who is able to put out more work.
And you also want to learn some kind of technology skills, If you're not a computer savvy person, you want to learn the computer. You want to know how to use Microsoft Word, Microsoft Access, Microsoft PowerPoint, Microsoft Excel. Any kind of, softwares that you think is going to help you. You want to master them and have everything at the end of your fingertips.
Yeah, because this day and age, without any type of computer knowledge, you're going to be phased out. Because pretty much almost all jobs do come with computer skills, that if the basic skill in computering that you should know to be able to, stick around.
And these skills are going to help you even if you decide that you want to start your own business or become an employee.
Definitely.
It's going to help you in both ways. So make sure you make time to develop these skills. Number 3, the third step will be to find what you love doing, the job that you think you love doing, that you want to get out of the job that you hate to get into the job that you love doing.
That's important. If you hate your job and there's a specific spot or specific job that you'll be more interested in, don't just go quit your current job, but make sure you do like an intensive research.
Right.
Make sure you gather a lot of important information about the job that you're passionate about, to be able to know the ins and outs, because you don't want to see just something from the outside without having a lot of info about and jump into it, and next thing you know, you probably hate that even more than what you were doing before. So let's do a lot of research, make sure we gather a lot of information so we would know exactly what we'd be talking about. If you say this is what you want, you would know exactly what that job entails, what your responsibilities, your daily routines and everything are going to be, so that way once you get in there, you would know, you wouldn't have any surprises.
Yep. So once you find a job that you love or you think you are going to love, you want to become an expert, or you want to be so knowledgeable about this job. You want to start reading books about it, getting all kinds of information you can about it. Find a mentor, talk to people who are doing that job already, talk to them, get more information. Even if you have to do an internship, you want to make sure that you do the internship with these people. You want to make sure you gain all the knowledge you could possibly gain from this job. Gain all this knowledge to equip yourself with all this information before you even think about making the next move to going. You have to be ideal for that job.
Yeah, it's like I said, you don't want any surprises once you get into it. You want to be able to say this is the job and know exactly what the job entails, with your daily routines, what's the ins and outs of that job. So once you're in there and you know exactly what you're going to be doing, and you'll be also well versed in info about that and the know-how of that particular job. So you would also know exactly what you will be doing there and be good at it.
So once you feel like you're ready for this job, you're so knowledgeable about it now that you're ready, then you start looking for the job that you love. You start, applying for that job, or if you trying to start your own business or whatever, you start the process of trying to put that business together and you see how that goes. You want to make sure that you find the job that you want first before you quit your job. You don't want to quit the job first before you start looking.
Yes.
So make sure you get the job. Once you get the job, then you can quit the job that you hate.
Yes. And one important factor too is also to be honest with yourself and figure out the reason why you hate the job that you're in. All right? Because if you're not honest with yourself and figure out the reason why you hate the job that you're in, you're going to end up probably thinking it's something else, but then would jump from one job to the other and then come to find out the reason that pushed you away from that one is the same thing here.
Right.
And then you're going to end up hating the job that you're in, your new job too. So you have to be honest with yourself and know exactly whatever the reason why you hate that previous job and try to solve that issue. Work on it. All right. Don't just make it a personal thing. Oh, I just hate this job because of this or this one or that one. But make sure you know exactly, you look into it and then work on that before you jump to the next job.
Yep. So to summarize everything, you want to make sure you simplify your lifestyle. You cut all the unnecessary expenses. Once you cut all the unnecessary expenses, you find time, your free time and money to start planning about the next job, the other job that you think you love, that you want. And then you develop skills, you develop cross-marketable skills, and you spend time, that will create more room for you. You spend time and, try to figure out what you want to do. You decide on what you want to do, and then you gain knowledge about what you want to do. Once you feel like you're comfortable, you're ready, you have enough information, enough knowledge, enough skills to move on, then you look for that job and you make sure that you find the job first before you quit your job. You don't want to quit your job and then you don't have a job and then you're struggling. You don't want that.
Exactly.
So these are the steps on how to get out of the job that you hate. So once you complete this steps, you're going to find a job that you love. And everything is gonna be all like, joy and happiness and everything. And you're gonna be the best worker or the best person you could possibly be.
Yeah, hopefully you'd be able to, look into whatever that's causing you to hate the job that you're in. You'll be able to work on that, and you'd be able to also equip yourself with a lot of information about the new stuff that you want to do, the new job. And once you get in there, hopefully you'll be able to put out your best, and you'll be able to be sustained in that job. That way, you wouldn't just quit your job for no reason, but you will quit your job and better yourself for your next job. So
yep. So this is how you get out of the job that you hate. Thanks for listening. This is the Money Matters podcast. Subscribe, like, share, comment. We talk to you guys on the next podcast.
Yup, and it's always an honor to share with you. Let's share information. If you have something, you can definitely hit us up, and we would love to have you in the studios and talk about these things. The goal is to share information and grow together. So see you next week, or talk to you next week.
That's all for today. Until we meet again next time, never stop learning. Thank you for listening. Subscribe to our channel. Email us at themoneymatterspodcast@gmail.com.